hands and put them in the air. Yes, another week, another time our defense holds a good offense to 17 points. And yes, another loss. I am your host here, Kid Philly, down here at the link, here to welcome you into week 13 of the NFL 2019 football season. Well, this week, our Eagles fly south to hopefully play a get better game against a very struggling team in the Miami Dolphins. Where to start? Reality, yes. Our Philadelphia Eagles are right now sitting at 5-6. Losing again, this time a score is 17-9. Another home game loss against a good opponent, but still a loss. Now, I'd probably be a little bit more down about that loss if it wasn't for yesterday's Thanksgiving game, the Dallas Cowboys playing host to the Buffalo Bills. Before I get into that, I will say happy Thanksgiving to all my subscribers, to the people that are tuning into this channel. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I hope it's spent with family and time worthwhile. And I hope you and your family, Eagles fans, sat and watched the Buffalo Bills destroy the Dallas Cowboys. That did put a good silver lining on a crappy week so far, football-wise. I'm thankful to have people in my life and spend time with them. But yes, so Dallas came out, scored 7 points. It looked like they were just going to destroy Buffalo. Next thing you know, Buffalo scored 26 unanswered points, and it came away with a victory that dropped Dallas down to 6-6, which means our Philadelphia Eagles are one game away. They're a half game out of first place right now if they get back to 500, and all they have to do right now is beat the Miami Dolphins. By all means, I know if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, and yes, they do exist out there. If you're a Miami Dolphins fan, I'm going to say this: you cannot sleep on any team. This league is a week by week, any given Sunday, any team can beat any other kind of team kind of league. And on top of that, they have a quarterback that actually has a pretty good history against us. So last thing I want to do is sit here and say there's no reason in the world that the Miami Dolphins can beat the Philadelphia Eagles, because there is. I mean, I'm going to give you three reasons. Ultimately, yes, do I believe my Philadelphia Eagles are going to come away with a big victory? Yes, I do, for a lot of different reasons. But I'm going to still say there's a couple of reasons why we can lose. I just hope we don't find those, all right? Because against Seattle, Carson Wentz was a turnover machine. Interceptions, fumbles, costly mistakes that turned into points. Maybe even not that many points, but just enough for us to lose, and that's all that matters. Pocket awareness and having people just strip the ball right out of his hands, that is not good. It's not acceptable. Interceptions, when he's forcing things into some players when other players might be somewhat open, or you have to pull the ball down and run, or throw it out of bounds, or stay with the run. It's not acceptable, especially when you have a running back. He might be a rookie, but he's doing well. Have a running back that is averaging around 5 yards a carry. There's no reason in the world why we shouldn't be utilizing him. Miles Sanders, a lot more. We brought back J.J. You might as well use the guy. I know he has some knee issues and some other issues. You might as well use the guy as much as we can, not leave anything on the table. And our running game might have struggled a little bit, but this week we get back a good chunk of offensive line, and there should be less of an excuse why we don't go heavy run. So yeah, Seattle came in here and looked very beatable, where our defense sacked Russell Wilson for like 6 times, and he only put up 17 points. We got after him, and our defense held. And their touchdown, the pull away kind of touchdown, the touchdown that they got, once again, another week, another trick play. You're talking about 2 really good teams in the Patriots and Seattle that had to use a trick play. That's part of the game, but had to use a trick play to score against our defense, which is looking a whole lot stronger now. That's positive and holding teams now. This is 4 straight weeks where our Philadelphia Eagles have held the opposing offense to 17 or less points. That's 13 points, 14 points, 17 and 17. And they're all against, except for Chicago, all against winning teams that are going to be in the playoffs. You got to think Buffalo that just beat Dallas. We held them. We held Chicago. Okay, they're not doing as well, but still held on 14 points. Held back-to-back weeks the Patriots and the Seahawks, 17 points each. So it looks like on the defensive side of the ball, we're getting more sacks, getting more turnovers. We're coming along. Now it's our offensive side of the ball that needs a little help. Yes. Jordan Matthews has been cut again, this time the 3rd time. Who knows if he's going to come back for a 4th? I don't know. Who knows if it's going to be end of his career in the NFL? Jordan Matthews, thank you very much for your time here, always in Philadelphia. I've met you before. You seem like a high character type guy for the times I've met you, so I appreciate the time you do spend here in Philadelphia. But the facts are facts of we need more production out of our wide receivers. JJ, there you go, Whiteside, he's supposed to have a bigger role, but it also is supposed to get back Alshon Jeffrey, and some people might not like this, Nelson Aguilar. All right. The bigger story, in my opinion, is getting back Lane Johnson and Brooks. Get them back on the right-hand side of the offensive line. There is no reason in the world why we should not just absolutely dominate and run the ball all day. I don't care who's back there. It could be Boston Scott, it could be Jay Ajayi, it could be Miles Sanders. We should be running the ball all day. Take the ball out of Carson Wentz's hands and make it easy. So if we do come to 3rd down, it's going to be like a 3rd and 2. It should be a whole lot simpler offense that we're playing. Looking at the tiebreakers, I have to just cover this as well. As an Eagles fan, I thought that the conference record played a higher role in the hierarchy for tiebreakers, and it doesn't. It really doesn't. So this is actually looking more bright than I initially thought. Where, yes, when it comes up to, because pretty much we're out of wild card, it pretty much means we have to win our division because, yeah, we have the tiebreaker against the Packers, but we lose the tiebreaker to like everybody else. So it comes down to the head-to-head against Dallas. And right now, we're losing that head-to-head because Dallas has one up on us. They come back here in a couple weeks and play here in the Link. Fine, so we can't talk about that yet because it's not reality. Then you go into the division, where right now we're 1-1. Dallas is 4-0, but of course, if we run the table against our own division, along with beating Dallas, that's going to be tied. It's going to be 5-1, 5-1, and that's what we hope, especially playing against Washington and the Giants, which is no gimme game, but we should beat them. So then, next up is like opponents. And this is where it's so interesting. If we were to pick certain teams to lose against, we actually lost against the right teams and beat the right teams. Because if you look at the Lions, these are all like opponents. The Lions, Dallas beat them, we lost. The Packers, we beat the Packers, they lost. Minnesota, we both lost. Chicago, we beat Chicago, they play Chicago this Thursday. So the best case scenario for Dallas is that they beat Chicago. Then it's kind of like a wash. But then it could come down to who beat Buffalo and the Jets. And we know Dallas lost against the Patriots, Dallas lost against the Jets, and Dallas lost against Buffalo, and they beat Miami. We lost the Patriots as well, but we beat the Jets and beat Buffalo already. So like opponents, even if we lose to Miami, I don't want to talk about that, but even if we do, we have a better record against like opponents. So if we end up with the same record, same divisional record, same head-to-head, our Philadelphia Eagles win the NFC East. But all that is looking a little bit too far in advance. Yes, I want to keep that in sight, but that's looking a little too far in advance. We have to handle our business on Sunday. There's a lot of people from Philadelphia either living down in Florida or going to be traveling down there. So it's going to almost seem like a sunny home game down in Florida. Which, yes, it's like 32 degrees out now here in Philly. So yes, enjoy the time down there. But then we have to do what we need to do to take care of business this week. Can't be worrying about Washington and the Giants and Dallas weeks out because we don't handle our business now. The future's not possible. So it's time to get back on track. We have to play against Ryan Fitzpatrick. The 3 reasons why Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins might even actually beat us is because they get turnovers. They have a legit wide receiver, number 1, Devontae Parker, which we have not done good against number 1 wide receivers this entire year. And we have Ryan Fitzpatrick, which the last time he played us, threw for over like 400 yards when he played for Tampa Bay, and it looked like, oh, they were just going to be trash. And no, he absolutely lit us up. So we cannot sleep on this team whatsoever. We got to hold on to the football. We got to run the ball. We got to dominate. So Philadelphia Eagles fans, it's time to get hype. It's kind of time to get loud. We got to thank every Buffalo Bills fan that we know with something, maybe a piece of turkey or a high five. I don't care what it is, because we still have life. We still have life to the season. We can conceivably get healthy at the end of the season at the right time. Get hot at the end of the season at the right time. Get some people back, including Deshaun Jackson, and then be that team that nobody wants to play. So let's keep this holiday spirit going all the way through Christmas, and let's start what everybody's considering the easiest part of our schedule. Not take anybody for granted. Let's stop the people on the way. Let's go, Birds!